going to I'm gonna start off talking about something that's I would say maybe I shouldn't talk about. It is drama filled, but I did find it interesting. I did find this one interesting, and I'll tell you why. A certain someone popped up on my YouTube algorithm. Sometimes I be forgetting that I be following people. They'll still be subscribed to people. What up, Fek Hawaiian? And I was like, damn, this is a blast from the past. And the title of the video says Mav Attack. Now, I don't know how many people have been with GI, been following GI for a long time. I don't know how many of y'all remember Mav Attack. Again, he was another person who I was subscribed to. I was like, you still making video? Like, it's like more people just coming back, blast from the past. But the title of the video said Mav Attack was a horrible friend. What up, this guy? Says Mav Attack was a horrible friend. And I was like, what is this video about? What is this video about? And this video was made by none other than an old GI member named Mr. Moshi. But y'all remember Mr. Moshi. So shout out to Mr. Moshi. Like I said, after everything that happened, I have no hard feelings, man. No hard feelings. You could still talk to me like you have never been exiled, in my opinion. You've never done anything terrible that should be exiled, but you had a lot of growing up to do, my friend. Had a lot of growing up to do. We still take accountability for how we handled the situation, but at the end of the day, I think it was for the best what we ended up doing. Because it's just a lot of accountability, a lot of growing up that needed to happen. So again, shout out to Mr. Moshi. Mr. Moshi, I'm not mad at you at all. But after the whole GI situation, Mr. Moshi ended up becoming real cool with Mav Attack and D's Nuts Gaming and CoryxKenshin. They were all in that clique together. Now, not so much Mr. Moshi being real cool with Cory, but it was really Mav Attack. Like, I would say Mav Attack and Cory were like damn near besties at a certain point. They did a lot of videos together, and that's really how Mav Attack gained its prominence. And Mav Attack came back to YouTube to post not one, not two, not three, but 4 videos. Well, I would say 3 technically, involving CoryxKenshin, or talking about revolving around CoryxKenshin, and kind of came out of nowhere. I remember a video 2 years ago actually when Mav Attack, kind of explained why he doesn't talk to Cory anymore. And I mean, I know pretty much everybody on YouTube knows who Cory is, but just to give a little context as to why Cory is such a polarizing figure, and he's been doing this for damn near like probably over 10 years at this point. But the man just leaves, just disappears, doesn't say anything to any of his subscribers, and leaves people wondering for months, even a year at times, what happened to him. What is he going through? What is he doing? Some people spot him out in the wild and he never gives any explanation, doesn't go on Twitter, doesn't put out a video, nothing. He just leaves, and then his subscribers are wondering where the hell he is, and then all of a sudden he just pops up, explains himself, and then he'll drop a whole bunch of videos and then leaves again. He's done this at least a good 5-6 times, maybe even more than that. And I still believe that Cory has one of the best, most loyal communities ever. That's Twitch, that's YouTube, that's any other social media platform. I think he has one of the most diehard and loyal communities ever, because me personally, I would never go through any type of situation like that with somebody who I really, really enjoyed. I don't think I enjoy anybody to that point where I'm like, yo, like I'm about to ride for you. I don't treat anybody like that. It's funny because I'm watching Cory's last video, and he said, kept harping the fact that I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a regular guy. And I'm like, yeah, I treat everybody like they're regular. I actually seen Cory Kenshin at E3 one time, and I had my reservations about him because of what I heard, how he treated his so-called, quote unquote friends. But I'm not here to really talk about Cory. But I have my reservation. I don't have anything against him because I don't really know him like that. But just from what I know and from the outside looking in, because I don't really watch Cory, like he's not my demographic. He was more for the kiddos. And now all of those kids who used to watch him have grown up. And a lot of those people are like, hey, like I'm kind of tired of this now. Like it took him a while, but even still, he still has a very, very, very loyal fan base. But I digress. Going back to Moshi and Mav Attack. So Mav Attack put out a series of videos talking about Cory and continuing to harp on why Cory basically is a piece of shit. Basically explaining why Cory's a piece of shit. And he brought the girl Panda, who was kind of the one who really started this back up, this whole situation with Cory, trying to essentially paint him as, you know, a narcissist, being very toxic and blah, blah, blah. And Panda got a lot of crap about it because she wasn't providing full context in her videos and stuff like that. So a lot of people were attacking her, and Mav Attack decided to bring her on this video and have her explain, you know, further her side of the story. So that kind of really sparked things back up with Cory. And then he did it upon himself again, because he said that he set a goal. He wants to set a goal this year for doing 100 videos before in 2025. And he did like 25 videos, and then he left again. And now it's September. So yeah, you know, just think about that. I mean, you leave again and you only did 25 videos, you don't say anything, and then you come back and then you explain yourself. So again, same old, same old. What else is new, right? Like, whoever's a diehard fan of you knows how this song and dance goes. They suffered the abuse. So in any case, apparently Mav Attack and now Moshi have some issues with each other and don't really talk to each other anymore. I was kind of wondering what was happening with them. And my main thing is, I don't think that Cory ever had an obligation to put his friends on. But I think, again, from the outside looking in, it was some weird things going on between Mav, Cory, Moshi, and These Nuts Gaming. I felt like there should have been more of an effort to explain yourself, to speak up whenever you did make the disappearances, instead of having all of that backlash come across your friends, your friend group, your YouTube group, whatever you want to call them. Because I do, in a way, I do sympathize with people like Mav Attack, because I wouldn't feel like it was fun. I know that some people do it in the GI community when they say, hey, where's TBH? Or, you know, get backhand compliments. I'm only watching you because TBH ain't live, you know, stuff like that. We've dealt with that as a collective with GI, right? But it was never, ever, ever to the magnitude that Cory made it for Moshi, Mav Attack, and These Nuts Gaming, but mainly Mav Attack. So I give him grace for that. I understand how that can make somebody go crazy. You're just trying to do your own thing, and then the person who they really, really like, who you're associated with, leaves, doesn't say a word. They're all wondering about Cory, you know, his mental health, getting very parasocial about the whole situation multiple times. And all that people do whenever you make a video, it has nothing to do with Cory. You make a video and all you see in the comments is, where's Cory, where's Cory, where's Cory, where's Cory? That would make me upset too. And this is what they had to deal with in this crew. So I understand why somebody will be pissed off and annoyed at that. And then you try to talk to the person and you're like, no, I'll handle it. But then you still don't say anything. Like, that's messed up, bro. That's messed up. What up, Psych? So now we come to 2025. This has been years, again, Chad. This has been years that apparently they haven't been speaking to each other. So Mav Attack makes a series of videos. He brings Pandas back. He explains the situation as to why Cory is a piece of shit. And then here comes Moshi. Apparently Moshi's seen the videos and he gives his side of the story. What up, Lionel Richie? So I'm going to play this part. I'm not going to play the Mav videos because they're very long, but at least this one can give a little bit of context as to why Moshi doesn't like Mav. I didn't even know that this was a thing, but apparently Moshi got some beef with Mav too. It's all confusing, but I did go down a rabbit hole, and we're going to try to piece this together, and then I'll give my full thoughts on what's going on with this crew here. I don't even know what These Nuts Gaming is. I don't even know if he still even makes videos, but he was doing this thing for a while too, with the whole Bloodborne and Elden Ring stuff. So I'm gonna play this video. We're gonna give our thoughts, and then we'll move on. But I just found this very interesting. I was like, Moshi, I'm like, you making videos again? I was like, this popped up on my algorithm. What the heck? So let's watch this real quick, and then we'll discuss. We'll see what Moshi has to say about his old friend Mav.
Everybody, my name is Mr. Moshi. Me and Mav Attack, we're friends for a good 4 to 5 years. We made content together, and we just in general came up in the YouTube space together. And really, I wasn't planning on making this video, you know what I'm saying? Because I was planning to be Tarzan and just let Clayton swing up them vines and whatever happens, happens. But at the same time, I'm like, some shit happened, and when am I ever gonna get a chance to talk about it? You know what I mean? So I'm like, since he went and already opened a court of public opinion, I'm like, might as well add my little, you know what I'm saying, 2 cents. Cause I saw the videos, I watched them, and this character he's trying to morph into and trying to portray himself as is, it makes me sick, considering it's like I know who this guy is. He wants to pretend that, oh, he cares about women and he cares about misogyny, and I'm just like, this is the same guy who stumbles into Discord drunk and tries to show you nudes of women that nobody asked for, and I'm pretty sure you didn't ask her to show me. And then,
Wait, unsolicited nudes? Unsolicited nudes? What are we doing here?
Help me, nigga.
What's going on, Mav? Is this true? It's true, man. You're just going into Discord drunk and just showing nudes to your friends of apparently women who you've may have been with. Hmm. Okay. All right. What up, Dolph? Okay, interesting. Let's continue here. But this is what Moshi is saying about Mav. All right. He's exposing some stuff. The tea is hot. The tea is hot.
and there's this whole I've been abused and I'm a defender of people who were abused angle that he's using, stringing that panda chick along. I already said how I felt about her, and when the news dropped, I was sick to my stomach. And then say you do what you do in that situation, you believe the victim. But once you start leaving blank pages in your message for dramatic effect and bringing up his mom, I'm like, all right, yo, you could get out of here too. But it was just so funny to me seeing this dude take the stance of defending mental abuse victims, and then the whole womanizing angle he was taking, like, oh, like you found him in bed with different girls. I'm like, bro, tell the people how you met your wife. This was back before they got married, before she was even his girlfriend.
Oh, hold on, man. How did Mav meet his wife? And just to give a little bit more context on, because he mentioned that Mav was talking about Corey's mom. Now, on one of the videos, Mav was mentioning that Corey has an estranged relationship with his mom as well, and he was trying to paint it as like Corey has an issue with the women, and he just has issues with a lot of people. Like he's just a bad friend. So that was kind of context with this. But let's continue. What's going on with Mav, and how do you meet his wife?
This dude Mav was juggling. He flirted, seduced, and was juggling a married woman with his, I guess his girl or his wife, who wasn't his wife at the time. And then when he caught, instead of taking responsibility and being like, hey, I'm a piece of shit, he banded together with his now wife to form the Legion of Doom and cyberbully this woman to the point of physical sickness. He knows who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna bring up her name because she's off somewhere doing her own thing, being successful, and she probably wants no parts of this. But I tell you that to show you how him and his wife get down. They're no stranger to perpetuating that same mental abuse that they talking about. So, I mean, come on down from that high horse, sir. And then
So he's saying that Mav ain't no saint, saying that Mav needs to hold the mirror up to himself instead of projecting this onto Corey. What it sounded like to me, even before we get through this entire video, what it sounded like to me is that I think y'all are just a band of just bad people. Like, I don't think that y'all are truly good friends. I think there is a situation where a bunch of just not good human beings or just find a way to band together. Because I don't think that there is such a thing as really opposites attract. I think you end up attracting those same type of people that you are. And I think that this is why us at GI, like, we have not had any problems really. And the problem that we did have, we kind of weeded those out and we moved on. But I think that GI has a very like-minded group of people, and that's why we are survived so long together. We are genuine friends. Again, we talk about me inviting GI members to my wedding. Like, this is we tight. Like, this is This is us, bro. But I think that there are situations where people who are not so good people, so good of a person, all just find a way to band together, and then all hell breaks loose, right? I think that all hell breaks loose, and it sounded like that's what happening with this group. Like, I don't think any of y'all are really good people, because apparently all y'all just don't like each other. Like, how did this even happen? All y'all just dealing with each other's bad behavior and just accepting it until it was too late. And now y'all decide in 2025 to just air out some dirty laundry. It's a mess. What a home is. He said Moshi still make videos. Yeah, we're talking about this. He popped up on my algorithm, and I was like, wait. I was like, wait, what's going on here? But apparently he has issues with Mav Attack, so it's crazy. So let's continue.
He wants to go on a rant about all this mental abuse he suffered from Corey. I'm like, bro, they just asked you where he was. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, Mav is like a hamster. He's easily stressed.
Which is true. Mav Attack does have mental issues. He's expressed that multiple times. But again, like I said earlier, y'all, when you continue to do stuff like that, again, I don't think that really anyone who was a Corey fan meant any harm with constantly going to Mav Attack's videos and asking where is Corey. I don't think that anyone meant any ill intent. But if you continue to see that over and over and over and over for months at a time, wouldn't that get to you as well? Especially if you are also a content creator, if you are trying to do your own thing, and all that people can say is, where is another human being? Again, Moshi, you did not deal with this as much as Mav did, but I saw it. I saw it firsthand when I used to watch Mav's earlier videos. People were very relentless, and people will go to even further lengths to get their answer. There have been countless videos from other people about Corey. Where's Corey whereabouts? People have made videos saying, I don't like Corey anymore because he's doing this. When is Corey coming back? Literally a Corey waiting room, bro. People have done this. So I don't agree with you there, Moshi. I do not agree with you there. You didn't deal with it as much as he did. So, but I do agree that Mav Attack does get stressed easily because, again, he had mental issues. So,
But he's also very easily excited. So I was there when he was complaining about Corey's community, but I was also there when you were happy about all the views you were getting from Corey off of the videos. I was there when you were happy that you could go get a press badge for free because your sub count went up, and I was there when you got your plaque. And I think that highlights who Mav is as a person. Like, he doesn't have anything good to say about you unless he's receiving something from you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking back to how he spoke on Corey, and besides complaining about his community, I never heard him say anything really good. Like, not even like, oh, me and Corey ran through so game and we was killing it. Like, none of that. It was just, man, why his people keep bothering me and da da da. And to that I have to say, I'll be honest, he's right. They shouldn't have harassed him, but I'm just like, they're not harassing you now. So what are we doing right now?
okay, I do agree with that part. They're not harassing you now. I think they have moved on because, again, Mav Attack has kind of slowed down on making his videos. But still, I think the echoes of the past still haunt you. And maybe for some reason, I don't know exactly what popped up. I'm assuming it's the Panda situation, since he did have Panda in the video. And I'm talking about Mav Attack. I think maybe that was his opportunity to get some more of his shit off about Corey. Maybe it was just some unfinished business. It sounds like, all in all of you, this entire group, has unresolved business, unresolved feelings that you all need to air out. And the funny thing about this whole situation is that all of you are now making videos about each other, except for Corey. Corey is like indirectly like mentioning things, but not fully diving into things in the last video because he never does. But all of you need to talk to each other. This is the same thing that I said in one of my earlier videos. Talk to each other like adults and figure things out instead of making videos. We are not back in 2015, like the earlier days of YouTube. We are all grown now. Why are we making videos about each other? This is messy. talk to each other? Do you all have each other's phone number? Do you all have a means to communicate with each other in private? If so, do so. Try it out. See what works. But apparently, none of you all want to do this. So now here we go. You all are making videos about each other in 2025. Grown man, by the way.
What's the play? And then when I did get the news that he was actually bad mouthing Corey, I'm not gonna lie, I would have said you were lying until I experienced Mav Attack's backstabby, shit talk you behind your back nature, my damn self. So I'm gonna go on a little bit of like a side tangent, only because I think this will explain who Mav is, like his characteristics, and give you a little bit of context on what I'm talking about. So really quickly, I'm gonna bring up my ex-friend D's Nut stuff, and I promise you, it will loop around back to Mav. You'll say,
Which again, Moshi said, my ex-friend, these nuts. Like, you know, ain't none of y'all friends no more. None of y'all. Like, it's like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, you ain't have at least one of these people who y'all kept as a friend. Like, what he do? What does Steph do?
I'm not just going off on a side tangent for no reason. So, quick little backstory, and this is why I don't talk to Steph today. In 2020, he asked me to be his editor. Gave him my price for being a full-time editor. It was $2,400. He couldn't pay it. So what did he do? He offered me equity. So I would get a percentage of the channel, the Patreon, any ads or sponsors we did, I would get a percentage. And I came on the channel as a partner. I viewed it as an investment because I'm like, okay, I'm investing in myself, I'm investing my time, and I'm also investing in my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but this is one thing that we told Moshi before we stopped talking to him. Like, bro, you can't just live with your parents for forever, bro. Like, eventually, again, when you grow up, because this was Moshi's problem, he needed to grow up and quickly. This man needed to get a job. Get a job. Stop relying on other people. Stop just thinking that this YouTube stuff is going to work. Again, I think that Moshi is super talented. I think that he can edit his ass off. I think that he's funny. But again, it just wasn't working to be sustainable for you being able to take care of yourself. So for you thinking, and it probably didn't even have any paperwork on this. If you did, again, you signed a bad deal. But for you to be like, oh man, like I'm gonna help on my homie, but he couldn't pay me, like that should have been a red flag right there. This man gonna give you equity. Like, what do you know about equity? Equity in the channel. And then you complain, it was like, man, I ain't get that much. Like, bro, you shouldn't agree to do it. Like, it's okay to tell your friends no. It is okay to tell your friends no. I tell my friends no all the time if I feel like they doing something stupid.
Fast forward, because I trusted the word of my friend very naively, Steph wakes up one day and says, that equity I promised you, actually, never mind. And because I didn't get it in writing, he had me dead to rights. So I was like, am I being robbed? Because at that moment in time, I already did the work. It still makes me laugh because to this day, he didn't understand why I would be upset that he had me do all that work under the pretense of equity.
He said, what did you walk into? A blast from the past, Cammy. You remember that one stream that I did? I don't know if you were in here, but we started getting like all know what we were talking about. But like all the old people start running in chat saying, what up? I'm like, where y'all come from, bro? This is a blast from the past. He didn't get in writing. What did I tell y'all, chat? What did I tell y'all? What up, Trey? See, here I go. What did I tell y'all, though, chat? You got to get in writing. Again, I understand y'all are young, but you were a little bit older, bro. It's 2020. You were a little bit older at that point, bro. Get everything in writing. Stop accepting what your friends are doing just because, oh, man, this my homie. This my homie. No, F that, bro. You were going into a business situation. Get that shit in writing. I guarantee you, if G.I. blows up from the podcast or something, bro, we gonna get the stuff in writing. We cool, but when the money comes into play, that's when everything starts to become a problem. I tell y'all, money breaks up relationships all the time. Intimate relationships, friendships. When money comes into play, you don't play around. Nobody plays around. Everybody wants their chicken, bro. Everybody wants their scratch. Quit playing. What up, Megas? So.
And then he pops up and says, hey, no matter what
What
we
up,
make,
Blake?
you'll be making $1,200 a month. So obviously I said no. I handed in my last video and I was like, you know what I'm saying, I was done with it. I cleaned my hands of it. So I'm expecting, like, you know what I'm saying, a little time to pass before he finds like a new editor. I'm like, who would agree to that price? It continues like clockwork. And lo and behold, who is behind the helm now? Mav Attack. Now I bring this up because I'm like, yo, this jealousy shit that he has with Cory is not specific with Cory. He has it with his other friends. Before I continue, I want to add this detail. At this point, I have not talked to Mav in a year or some change, almost coming up on like a year and a half. And last time I talked to him, we didn't have an argument, a falling out, nothing. Everything was Gucci the last time I saw him. We were good. So the timing was suspicious, and I didn't want to believe that like he was plotting. I didn't want to believe it was something malicious, but was cemented that, okay, this was something intentional and something very malicious was the smear campaign that ensued afterwards. So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I wasn't even mad that he took the job because I'm like, I washed my hands. I was done with it. I'm not about to work for free.
I mean, at this point, Moshi, I'm gonna be real here again. It's some tough talk here. Even if it was malicious to get at you, which again at this point, you've already said, hey, I got screwed over. I'm not getting the money that I wanted. So at that point, again, you say you wash your hands with it. So why would you think that Mav Attack was being a backstabby by taking the job that you didn't want anymore? Whether Steph paid him or not, whether he paid him what you felt like you were owed, if he took a lower cut and still ended up getting paid, then that's his business at that point. That's not yours, bro. You said no because you were not getting paid what you felt like you were owed. Am I wrong here, chat? Again, I understand the angle that he's trying to come from, but if Mav Attack took that job, then that's their business. That's on them at that point. That ain't got nothing to do with you anymore, bro. So I'm not fully understanding this, but let's keep watching. Maybe I'll get something else. But that ain't your business anymore, bro. You gotta just take the L and move on, like you said you did. So you can't be mad if your boy ended up taking the job. Maybe he needed it. Maybe Steph told him something different. Unless you just felt like both of them was plotting on you. I don't know.
But at the same time, it's like that wasn't enough for him. He not only wanted my job, but he wanted to rip my foundation from under me. And again, out of nowhere, because I'm like, bro, me and you didn't have no beef. Me and Steph might be having a disagreement, but me and you didn't have any beef. But still, that didn't stop him or Steph's head mod at the time, Otia, from going on a smear campaign, telling everybody that, A, I stole from him, which anybody who does content creation and you get paid through PayPal knows it's like, unless I have information to that PayPal, I cannot steal from him. I have to get paid by him. And then just in general, telling people not to mess with me. No explanation. Yeah, I can't lie to y'all. It got bad. It got to the point where it's like mutuals that we both knew started treating me differently. You know what I'm saying? I would start getting random passive aggression from people I hadn't even gotten the chance to meet yet. And I'm like,
okay, all right. So this makes more sense. This gives a little bit more context. What up, Tony? Said Moshi to be Twitch. How young it was like Moshi. All right, so this makes a little bit more sense. Again, I can't prove this or whatever. We're just gonna say what Moshi is saying is true. Or just assume that what he's saying is true. So okay, I mean, if they collectively started a smear campaign on you and just told everybody not to mess with you, then that is wrong. That is wrong. Then I would find offense to that. But I still stand by what I said before. Like whatever their business is at that point is their business. But if they took that as a means to talk bad about you and tell people not to mess with you, either friendship wise or business wise, then yeah, I can understand how that would become an issue. But at that point, again, you just stop talking to them. And I'm hoping that's what he did earlier rather than later on, because I don't know how bad that this quote unquote smear campaign went. I don't know who all that they spoke to inside their circles, outside of their circles, that got mostly to a point where maybe he felt like he can't get work anymore and being an editor, because that's what it's sounding like. I don't think that this is more on the relationship tip, I think that this is it's sounding more like this is on the business tip, like because if Moshi is claiming that Steph said that he stole from him, then okay, yeah, like oh man, don't trust him, like he gonna steal from you. Which again, I don't, I don't understand in this case. I mean, just like Moshi said, with the transaction, how can he steal from him? Yeah, I don't get it unless he has access to his account. Like you said, you can't steal from him. So like if you did the work and you got paid, but not paid as much as you felt like you were owed, then you just leave that alone. But again, you didn't put it in writing either, so you messed up in that situation. So like I said, I don't know how the smear campaign went. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds like more on the business side. Maybe Moshi was trying to be an editor for somebody else, and maybe, allegedly Steph and Mav were like, nah, don't mess with him. He gonna steal from y'all, or he does bad work. Maybe. That's what it sounded like. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, man, it got bad to the point where I had to isolate myself. You know what I'm saying? Like Avatar, and I had to just go into that you know what I'm saying, that ice. And then for 2 years, I stopped talking to everybody, man, because I didn't know who believed the lie, who was harboring like, you know what I'm saying, some unjustified resentment that I couldn't see. It got to the point where I cut myself off from everybody, including people that I trusted. So, because during that time, and this is why, you know what I'm saying, some of you guys might be asking, oh, why did you say anything at the time? During that time, people came up to me like, oh, is this true? And I explained the entire situation to them, and they didn't give a fuck. Like, so it got to the point where I'm like, yeah, I could open this in the court of public opinion, but what would I really be fighting for? Like people who clearly don't mess with me for me, who just wanted to get close to me because they thought they could get close to Steph or get close to Mav. And instead of like fighting for that, this could be an opportunity to like get rid of these people. And also, I isolated myself because in general, I had to deal with just the entire situation of having two of my closest friends do me dirty in this way. One of them clearly didn't even have a reason besides siding with the other. And why is that? Because they had something to gain from it. Yeah, during
Well, okay. Now, what's to gain from a smear campaign against you, though? Again, no offense, Mochi, but I don't think that you were the hottest ticket. I don't think that you were the hottest thing smoking here. So that's what I need more context on. What do they gain from doing a smear campaign against you? I could understand if this was with Corey, for example, was clearly the most successful one in the crew, but you, I don't get that because Steph was bigger in subscriber count than you, and Mav was bigger in subscriber count than you. So you were technically the lowest on the totem pole here. So what do they gain from talking bad about you and having everybody not mess with you? That's what I don't get. I don't get that part. What up, Grump? They probably already made up their mind. Moshi. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. So I don't know. I don't understand that part.
that time, I was just trying to pursue, like, you know, say something that would lead to some success because I wanted so desperately to chuck up like the figures and just be like, man, fuck y'all. Unfortunately, that didn't come. So, eventually I got tired of just being by myself, feeling lonely, and I try to reconnect with people. But even still, 2 years later, it still followed me. It was to the point where I would try to reconnect with one of my friends who was streaming, and live on stream, they would get a boss call from somebody to not mess with me. And
I would love to know who this was. Who was this person? I don't know. They got a boss call from somebody. Like I don't know. I don't know who you're trying to reconnect with. Sound like it may have been Steph, but I don't know. I don't know who this person might have been.
that's the reason
You
why
remember
I
Math from
only
way
have
back?
maybe 2 to 3 friends like I really keep close till today, because it's like I can't trust anybody. Man, I'm ashamed to say this, but I'm mad fucking paranoid. So when I see you get on the internet crying mental abuse because your friend won't talk to you anymore and his community used to ask you where he was, when it's like I have to deal with all of that, all that happened, and on top of that I gotta deal with both Mav's people and Steph's people asking me where they are without the situation. It would be proper for me to explain to them that, hey, I don't know and I don't care because these people are pieces of shit. And now I gotta hold that. And I can't lie, bro. That shit pisses me off. This one.
So everybody's a piece of shit, like I said. Like I said, everybody's apparently a piece of shit in this group. So I just dropped this conversation, but seemed like it's some self-reflect. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Self-reflection is required by all of them. Not just Moshi, not just Corey. All of them, bro.
One of the reasons I'm making this video, bro. And I didn't even explain what y'all did to Strix. So to give context, me, Strix, Steph, and Mav used to be a part of like this group, like I said before, like Discord buddies. We made content together, yada yada yada. But to give context, Strix is the closest person to what Mav and Corey had in terms of longevity of friendship, in terms of trust, in terms of the amount they confided in each other. Strix is the closest person inside the creator space, or should I say, like Corey was. So back when Mav was going on his smear campaign telling everybody not to mess with me, eventually he did make his way back around to Strix. And he told Strix, he said, hey man, Moshi's not the move right now. You shouldn't mess with him. You shouldn't hang out with him. And Strix asked him 2 simple questions. Mind you, same longevity as Corey, same trust as Corey, same amount of stuff that he confided in. They were very, very close friends. And he asked Mav 2 questions. Why? And have you talked to Moshi? And ever since that day, 5 years ago, Mav Attack has not talked to Strix ever since. And the reason I bring this up,
because he asks questions. Because he asks questions. Because he asks questions. I mean, I think that I'm not going to allow anybody inside of my same circle to just be like, hey man, don't mess with this person. I'm going to question you as well. So Moshi is saying that just because Strict asks questions as to why he shouldn't mess with Moshi, that Mav Attack was like, no. I'm not talking, more than what it sounds like. I don't know. Shout out to your Obama, man. Like, appreciate you, man. I don't know. That's okay.
is because I think at the root, that explains who Mav Attack is. Because even though you have that close relationship, unless you can offer Mav something, it's very easy for him to cut you off. He did it with me. I think he even did it with Steph because they started making videos for a while and then they just stopped out of nowhere. And now Steph has deleted his channel. I guess Mav wasn't cool with making under bare minimum, and that whole operation eventually shut down. But I'm still surprised to this day about him doing that to Strix, because you knew him before you knew all of us. You met him basically at the same time that you got cool with Corey. But like I said, the difference between Corey and Strix is what they can offer Mav, and that's all he cares about. Even to this day, like Mav said that he stopped being friends with Corey, but it's like, no, Corey stopped responding to you. He stopped being friends with you because you're a bad friend and you treat your friends poorly when they're not looking. And because you can't mutually and consensually have a collaboration with Corey, you're going about this nasty and negative way in order to force that interaction with his community. Why?
Okay. Again, this brings me back to the same conclusion that I've been saying this entire time. I don't think that any of y'all were truly friends, if that's the case. I don't think that any of y'all were truly friends. Y'all may have said that y'all were friends, but I don't think that y'all were really friends. I think that all of you, in some form or fashion, used each other for some benefit. Maybe not so much Corey, I don't know, but maybe he did need some friends at the time. But it sounded like none of y'all were truly friends. Again, I go back to the example of GI. Like, I consider these guys my day one homies. We are friends before we are content creators, okay? We are friends, but yes, we met doing content creation, but I consider these guys my friends. I consider these guys my brothers. So no matter what happens, unless again somebody ends up being on some weird like Epstein type stuff, some crazy like that, they're gonna be my OGs and I'm gonna ride with them. But we told everybody has told everybody, like, you do some crazy stuff, man. Like, we just You gonna be out of here, bro. We don't even really need to give an explanation. Like, it is what it is. So everybody should be, on, that type of time with each other. But again, until then, like, we good, bro. So we're actually legit friends. But I don't think y'all were friends. It's not sound like it. This does not sound like a genuine friendship between all of y'all. Y'all may have confided in each other at some point, but it don't sound like it at all. None of this sounds genuine to me.
My guess is because his girl does OF, and with her just having a baby, she's out of commission. So he's like, baby, even if I look crazy, I'm gonna get this bread. That's my.
I don't even know about this. He said Mav Attack's wife just had a baby, but she does OF. Mav Attack, you sound like a dirty dog, man. I don't know what's going on with you in your relationship, but dang, man, you got an OF chick, man, your wife, and she pregnant. Jeez, man, you know videos with her? Like, you doing videos with her? I don't know about this. I don't know what the girl look like. I don't know nothing about this girl. This is new news to me, man. But having an OF girl as a wife, that's tough. That's tough.
I guess I can't really, explain to you his thought process. Nor do I really care to. All I'm saying is, hey man, you already used up all your friends. At least stop using Cory, man, because you're still using him, still using his community. It's just take. I think even at one point you try to ask him to be his editor, knowing he edits his own videos and he takes pride in that. I think at one point you asked to move in with him. So it's like, yeah, this obsession you have, yeah, bro, you gotta let that go. Yeah, man, it's just whatever friends you got left, that's what's gonna happen in the end if you keep that up. So yeah, guys, I've been Mr. Moshi. That was my 2 cents about this. I won't talk about this again unless he just says something egregious that I have to respond to. But other than that, I'm gonna resume doing my own thing. And yeah, I won't talk about this again. And nobody else should either. Y'all should just let him fade, yo. And then be like me. Get ready for these 100 videos that are dropping, because I am excited about that. But anyway, Mr. Moshi, I'll see y'all. Peace.
Well, man said I'm excited about something that's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. Hate to break it to you. I don't think these 100 videos are gonna happen, my friend. But anyways, so what we are getting out of this video, let's just again assume that everything is true. I'm going to once again go back to the conclusion that none of you all were truly friends. Like Dolph said in the chat, you all were colleagues. That used each other at one point to make collaborative videos, act like you all were buddy. And then once money came into play, then you all saw each other's true colors. It may not have been solely on Mr. Moshi. I don't think that Moshi was solely in it for the money. But again, from what we've known about him before GI and after GI, this man wants to legit be, a content creator, and it just wasn't working for him. And Moshi was at a point where, again, we told him, like, bro, man, you got to do what you got to do. Go get a job. He didn't want to go get a job. So now he did. Now he had to deal with this. I had to deal with a smear campaign. Nobody want to mess with him. Therefore, nobody wants to edit your videos. You were inconsistent in making your videos. You apparently got a job at one point. I don't know if you have a job now, 9 to 5, but bro, think you waited way too long to try to make this stuff work. It didn't work. And now all of a sudden you got into your feelings about what Mav Attack said about Cory, not you, but what he said about Cory. And now you felt like you need to add your 2 cents, which again was not needed, because you say you haven't talked to this man in years, and apparently none of y'all have talked to each other in years. So what's the fucking point? There is no point. There is no point. If y'all ain't cool, then let it stay that way. If it's up, it's up. But if y'all truly feel like y'all are friends and y'all want to make amends, then talk to each other offline. Talk to each other offline. Find a way to talk to each other. Y'all are all grown. If y'all are truly friends, then talk to each other and hash this stuff out. Y'all don't want to do that. Okay? Y'all don't want to do that. Mav has been eating. This man, all 3 of his videos about Cory got over 100,000 views. So he doing exactly what he felt like he needed to do to get back into the spotlight. Now, again, whether it's for you know, actual intent of, hey, I just want to make sure that people are aware, he's still in the wrong too. Because apparently you ain't talking to Cory either. Then why the hell you come back to making videos? So I do tend to agree on that point that Moshi was making, that you just came back because maybe you did need some money. Because what other point do you have for riding the coattails and bringing this back up about Cory, who apparently you don't talk to and you don't mess with? All of this stuff is dumb. All of it is dumb, bro. Like, yeah, Cory did respond to the allegations, but barely. He barely responded to anything. He didn't go into any detail. That's why I'm just like, man, I watched that video. He kind of skated around it, like he mentioned Panda, and it was more like, hey, I'm just a regular guy. I've done these bad things. Don't treat me like a saint, you know. That's basically what that video went down to. So, and you know, it wasn't really no tea on that one. He didn't really dive into the weeds on what was going on. He kind of just skated around everything. But yeah, in any case, these are grown men. I don't know why they decided to make these videos, especially Moshi coming back out. I really don't know what his intent was with this one. I don't know if he's, again, just trying to get on everyone's good graces at this point, because nobody was talking about you. I don't even think Mav mentioned you. I watched those videos. I don't think he mentioned you. He was really solely talking about Cory and the situation with Panda, and then brought her on, and then he went over the comments and everybody talking about him, because everybody, his comment section lit up. His comment section lit up. So it tells me that none of y'all are mature. I think that all of y'all in a different situation are not good friends. I don't think that any of you all are really good people, and you all need to have a lot of self-reflection. All of you need to have a lot of self-reflection. Again, I think that all of you all have done wrong in certain aspects. And again, if you were all truly friends, then you would have hashed this stuff out, but you all decided to not speak to each other. And now, years later, this is getting brought back up for what? Literally no reason. So, man, it's tough, because like I said in the beginning, I have really no beef with Moshi. Like, yeah, the stuff, I will never forget what happened during those situations, especially what he did to Ethos. Again, we're not gonna talk about that, but I don't have any bad blood for Moshi. I still wish him the best. I still wish him the best, just like I wish Tick the best. Like, they all just off the rails in their certain ways, and that's why we end up cutting ties. But it is what it is. I don't wish bad on them, because they didn't do anything personally to me to get to that point where I'm like, yo, you're excommunicado, and like, it's up if I see you. I didn't think that any of them got to that point with me personally, but again, it's at a point where you all just kind of went off the rails, and we had to do what we had to do with both of them. And I wish Moshi the best. I was hoping that he got into a better situation for what he wanted to do, which clearly he wanted to be a content creator or an editor. You know, he had to do what he had to do, or try to find what he had to do in order to make money, and it didn't work. So you got to get off your ass, my boy. I was hoping that it would have worked, but at the end of the day, if y'all relying on Cory, and Cory was doing the disappearing act every 2-3 months, and then that fell back on y'all, then I don't feel like that's a good friend. And I've said that since the beginning. I said this is messed up. I've said that for a long time. It's been years. Like I said, I feel how I feel about Cory because of what I know personally, what I've heard personally, and just from the outside looking in. It's just not a good situation to be associated with him. If he's going to continue to do that, bro, and just not give any explanation, then all that backlash falls upon y'all, and then people mad at y'all because y'all truly don't know, or it's not your business to tell people about Cory. But again, they shouldn't be coming to y'all about this other grown man. So Cory Kenshin, Cammy. Cory Kenshin. Yes, Cory Kenshin. Sorry, I didn't feel like constantly saying Cory Kenshin. But yes, I'm speaking about Cory Kenshin. So it's just bad. It's just bad. You know, it's sad to see all of y'all not talking to each other, because I actually did enjoy y'all content. But, you know, this all coming about, y'all ain't speaking years, and then all of a sudden y'all making videos about each other. Like what's going on, bro? Blast from the past for real with all y'all. Blast from the freaking past, bro. Can you get a summary? Okay. Panda, the girl named Panda, she came out with some videos, and they kind of brought back up the whole situation with Kenshin about him being toxic, a piece of crap. So he kind of woke that she kind of woke that up again. Cory also took another disappearance recently. He's now back. But Mav Attack decided to make videos, multiple videos, which we'll actually pull up here. This is one of the videos he did, and this is a video that Panda is in. So, he titled his video "The Hidden Life of Kenshin." So this is where he started. But he made 2 more videos after this, and you see this video right now has 208,000 views. So crazy, bro. 208,000 views and has 10,000 comments, bro. 10,000 freaking comments. So, man, oh man. But Mav Attack decided to wake it up some more and make videos talking about Kenshin and his relationship and with Cory, and how Cory is a piece of crap. So Moshi decided to, after watching these videos, speak about Mav Attack and talk about he's a piece of crap. So they just basically all called each other a piece of shit. In a nutshell. That's the gist of it, bro. Yeah, GG's, bro. GG's fly. It was close. I tried, bro. I tried. But yeah, a very long video. He brought Panda back on here to explain her side of the story, and she was just very, very aggressive. It was hard to listen to her about, what she tried to say. And in any case, so just for full context here, look at these videos here. So actually made 4 videos, excuse me. So this one got 208,000, this one 155,000. This video is just really him just looking at all the comments that people had. And then this one, Cory Kenshin and Mav Attack's best moments. This guy is hilarious, bro. He made a video compilation for them. And then this video, which is actually very well edited. It's very well edited. I think that Mav Attack, that whole crew, there's some very good editors. They're very, very talented, very creative. So he made this whole video about Cory Kenshin going missing. It was actually pretty entertaining. So yeah, so that's how we got here, chat. That is how we got here, man. It said JT did cheat against you. I don't cheat in football. You talking about? I should have gone back to Moshi video. Oh yeah, I forgot. Actually, yeah, yeah, you just reminded me. I need to go back to that video because yeah, I want to read this comment because I actually did not read it. So let's read this real quick. Yeah, because he did respond there. He said, this is very long, late cheese. So to read here, he said, probably should have let it be, but here we go. He said, not morphing into a character or playing any role. We haven't spoken in 6 years or so, ? I'm actively hoping Panda's voice be amplified because the entire fan base and internet, to be honest, has been consistently crucifying her for expressing her experience. So again, the first video centered around Panda and giving her the audience, I guess, to explain her situation. He continued, bringing up my wife and the circumstances around the one you don't want to mention by name is actually insane, and my wife's comment speaks for everything you mentioned in regards to that. I think this is his wife here. Yeah, this is his wife here. Oh man, this gets even more juicy. Hold on, man, we gotta read that after. Jeez. Okay. Okay, so saying my wife's comment speaks to everything you mentioned in regards to that. You know as much as I do how much the harassment from Cory's fans affected me mentally. And I mentioned this before. It was on another level with Mav, and I feel for him. I saw the comments. I saw people literally, again, just all in the comments or every video that he tried to make, asking where's Cory. And yeah, it does. I don't think that anyone who made those comments meant any ill will, but when it gets to a point where that's all that you see, yeah, it does become harassment. So I give Mav sympathy for that. And it was on a different level. Moshi didn't experience it like that. Mav was the one who got the brunt of that onslaught, and I saw it. So what up, Paladin? So he said, if we weren't as close as you say we were, you would know how active I was about my mental health, and the amount of breaks and frustration I had towards everything through those years were valid. Saying I never had anything good to say about anyone unless I was receiving something from them is also insane. Acting like I never bigged you guys up or celebrated when y'all accomplish something big. Aside from talking about Cory's community, yeah, I probably never said anything good, but in the same breath, I never said anything bad either, aside from maybe what, the breaks, question mark. I didn't talk about it to you because I knew you were capable of making a video like this. Interesting. Okay. Why, hence why I kept you at arm's length as a friend. Okay. Wow, to call me backstabbing when you did plenty to backstab me. So I don't even know. So again, they're just saying, oh, but I know you are, but what am I? Apparently all of them are backstabbing. So that's why again I go back to, I don't think y'all were actually friends, bro. You backstab me, I backstab you. You stab me in the back. Like, what the fuck? Like, man, okay. Where was I? Backstab, like okay. And I remained friends with you anyway. So apparently they both backstabbed each other and they remained friends. Want to talk about when a mutual of ours made a video and you thought the thumbnail looked mighty familiar to mine, which I denied, to which you then approached him on my behalf and claiming he stole my idea, question mark. You were always an instigator, and you couldn't help but create discord between people, bringing up Steph, who isn't important, and who isn't even online anymore, sorry, and Atia is also a wild play, especially because they never ran a smear campaign against you. I had heard about some not so great practices behind the scenes, but that never once influenced my want or need to take on the editing job. You were not that important, and I simply felt like I could help a friend continue his business since I wasn't working on mine. You feeling alone and isolated isn't exclusive to you, and using that as a point to drive home whatever smear campaign you thought was being done to you is wild. You think I didn't go through a period of isolation? I cut off everyone from my life because everyone either had something against me, wanted to use me for something. So again, Mav is saying that people want to use him for something. Moshi saying that Mav just wants to use other people for stuff. And realized they no longer could or fell out with me over simple miscommunications. It's funny you bring up Strix being one of your closest friends now. Why don't you ask him about the group message we had that excluded you, question mark, the one where we felt we can actually speak without our words being remembered / saved or potentially used against us. And yeah, I gave Strix an ultimatum because if he was going to remain my friend, I couldn't be cool with him knowing you guys were still talking. He chose you clearly, so I cut him off. At the root, standing for my boundaries is who I am, question mark. Copy. Steph cut off everybody and disappeared. Had nothing to do with the editing. Bringing up my wife, her business, and my child is ... Yeah, I'll keep my thoughts on that to myself. I did reach out to Cory about editing for him because I thought I could help him not take breaks, and he offered for and wanted me to move in with him himself. So he is saying that Mav wanted to edit for CoryxKenshin because he could help him not take as many breaks, and he's saying that CoryxKenshin offered Mav the chance to move in with him. Okay, this was sad, and whatever you've harbored through the years, it seems you need to not only let it go but move on from, the same way myself and many other people have had to do. That was a lot. That was like, yeah, he yapping, bro. He yapping. TLDR, Mav was upset that Moshi mentioned his wife and his child, and he's basically saying, yeah, you said I did this, but you did this. so nobody's taking accountability for anything. Nobody's taking accountability for anything. This is a back and forth, he said, she said, your truth, my truth, and the truth. I don't think we'll ever get the truth. It's just going to be Moshi's truth and Mav's truth, because I find it extremely hypocritical for Mav to be like, hey man, like, I don't know why you made this video, I don't know why you harboring all this shit. Like, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? You just made 4 videos about one man and you got paid, bro, because you got over 100,000 views on every video. So who was really harboring the resentment towards somebody? You are the main one, and everybody in your comment section is telling you that, bro. What are you talking about? Holy crap, dude. All right, let's see what Mav's wife has to say. She jumped in. She's also upset. She said, first off, don't mention me or my child because we never had a conversation before and we are more than equipped to take care of our child. And the fact that you think I simply just do OF tells me you're just following what others are saying about us and not actually looking into it, because trust me, bud, financially, I don't need fucking help in any way. Okay, tell them. One more thing. You tell them. Let's fucking go! Yeah, you tell them. You tell them what. You tell them. All right, let's continue. She said, secondly, the girl you mentioned, child, she harassed me because she was upset that I was his girlfriend while she cheated on her partner at the time. And I know you don't know shit, considering you calling her a married woman when she told me herself she wasn't. She also sent me hush money. Damn, it got that deep. Hush money. What the fuck? What is it? Hush money? Is this Trump? Are y'all political? Some hush money? How much? How much did you get? You got some hush money. What is happening here? What is happening here, Chad? What the fuck? You got some hush money. Okay. And we also squashed it. So bringing up her business is insane, child. Third of all, Hunty, a lot of the people you mentioned, we don't even talk to and have it for years, nor did I ever recall Mav dictating them. Steph disappeared. We cut off Otia, and even though we don't talk to him anymore, I'll stand on his character and say that he's never made a smear campaign on you, because that's not how Otia is, and I don't even fuck with him anymore. We know you cashing in. It's obvious. Insane. I will take my I'll take my voiceover. I'm gonna be a voiceover actor now. Okay, I'm gonna be a voiceover actor. This is some messy shit, bro. This is some messy shit. Hey, yo, man, she came at him, bro. You know the funny thing about it, the ironic thing about this? Again, not to pull up views, but she said, we know you're cashing in. This video has 560 views. What up, Ethos? This video has 560 views, so I don't think that anybody is cashing in. Hate to say it, man, but this isn't the blow up that you may have wanted it to be. But on the other hand, Mav Attack got 200,000, 155,000, 114,000, 118,000. He got a little money. He got a little money off of these 4 videos, man. So it is what it is. Mav's wife in the chats. Yeah, your man's made some money, but Moshi ain't make it. So I don't know what to say about this, but I think that this is ultimately going to be a nothing burger, because if you go to one of these videos, I actually think I put up the wrong one. Let me go back. If you look at the comment section,
Hello, everyone.
Of this video, I need to put my Vita IQ up because I want to see how many dislikes. I know that these videos got disliked to the ground, bro, to hell. But nobody's on Mav's side. I'm gonna just let y'all know that now. Nobody is on Mav's side. The entire community of CoryxKenshin's is on his ass, bro. They on his ass. They said, looks like y'all can't break eye contact from the scripts. Alternative title, grown man has a normal life, and I'm jealous of that. Oh no, Cory, your bad boyfriend. Now let's bring down his entire career for something he did 7 years ago. Nobody is on his side, bro. They gave him the views. He got the views. He got the comments. He got the interactions. But nobody's on Mav's side here. So, did you really do something? I think survey says no, because like I said, CoryxKenshin's community, bro, is one of the most diehard communities I've ever seen. Ever, period. They don't give a fuck, bro. I don't even know how old his community is even more. I know we had a theory about this, but you know, some people who grew up stopped taking Cory's virtual abuse, I guess is what you want to call it, virtual abuse. But it's still a lot of people that like do not give a fuck. Anytime that Cory comes back, instantly million views, 2 more million. It's an event, bro. It is an event whenever Cory uploads a video, bro. I don't understand how he's kept this on for so long and constantly apologizing. People just keep dealing with it. So it is what it is, man. I stopped trying to understand his community and what they do. I have no beef. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. CoryxKenshin's community, I have no beef with y'all, bro. I'm just saying the reality. I wouldn't deal with it. I don't watch the nigga videos, but I understand the kind of impact that he has, bro. I understand the kind of impact that he has. So again, I don't understand the point of Mav videos. I definitely don't understand the point of Moshi's video. This shit ain't gonna go nowhere. Cory gonna keep doing what he's doing. He gonna disappear again. He's not gonna say nothing to nobody. And it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. If that nigga being toxic and running game on these women, let him, bro. He said he a man of God. He probably still being a piece of shit. And it ain't your business or mine. It ain't your business or mine. So that's that. Those are my thoughts. Moshi, again, I wish you all the best, my friend. It's sad to see this situation happening with none of y'all talking. I was like, damn, I thought you at least talked to one of them. It's not like you talking to Strix, but man, just not talking to anybody and to cut people off because of this stuff, man. It's just so many that y'all when it's locked in that y'all thought y'all were. I don't think none of y'all were really cool with each other like that. None of y'all really fuck with each other like that. So, you know, it's another lesson learned. Another lesson learned, my friend. You gotta choose your friends better, and you need to get on your shit because all of y'all are grown men, and there is literally no point of going on the internet in the big 2025 making videos about each other. Like, Jesus Christ. Oof. Man, oh man, that was a lot. But I think those comments on most of the video made it even more entertaining. Because I didn't even see that at first. So clearly Mav saw it. And his wife. Mav and his wife saw it. So they decided they had to respond. But man. Oh man. So a 19-year-old son used to watch it. I remember you told me. You told me you used to watch Cory. So like I said, I don't get it. I never gotten it. But you know, I'm not gonna hate on anybody for still enjoying Cory or who used to enjoy Cory back in the day. It is what it is. But like I said, I couldn't take that type of virtual abuse. Can't be me, man. Can't be me. All right, let's move on. Hopefully they don't continue to make videos. I don't know. It seems like Mav is definitely on the road to continue making videos. I don't think he gonna let off the brakes, but Moshi said he ain't gonna make no more videos about it. I want Moshi to just make videos, period, because I don't know what the hell he doing with his life, but he need to get it together, bro. He need to get it together.